Chapter 2 The Real Estate Broker in the Shadows. Starting the chapter, we are introduced to a shot of Tachibana in his penthouse overseeing Kamurocho. As Tachibana thinks, we cut to Kiryu in the shower, standing underneath the hot water, contemplating a situation. We almost see Kiryu's booty meat before leaving the shower, wrapping ourselves in a bathrobe and entering the penthouse's living space and dining area. Tachibana offers us a meal, but we graciously decline, not trusting him just yet. Tachibana understands our weariness and offers us his assurance that nothing is wrong, welcoming us to lower our guard again. Unfazed, we ask where our clothes are to find out they are being cleaned. Starting to talk to Tachibana, he explains that he's just a civilian real estate agent in Kamurocho. Still incredibly weary, Kiryu asks us what the hell a real estate agent would want with him. Tachibana urges us to eat one more time before sitting down and beginning to eat himself. As he sets up to eat, we notice he's only using one hand. He informs us his right hand is prosthetic and proceeds to vent in general chat for an uncomfortable amount of time. Kiryu expresses disinterest, leading Tachibana to teach us some botanical science vocabulary and accusing us of being a flower. He rounds us about the sunflower orphanage Kiryu and Nishiki grew up in. Tachibana continues to share what he knows about us, intriguing Kiryu enough to wonder, who are you? Tachibana finally shares with us what he's after. The empty lot. He wants us to join him as a partner to get the empty lot before the Dojima family does, meaning we might be able to save Kazuma from expulsion and prove Kiryu's innocence. Kiryu, sensing a facade, questions if that's what Tachibana is really after. Thinking it too good to be true, Kiryu asks for his clothes and rejects the offer. Tachibana admits to being naive and gives us his business card. Going to have her clothes brought up, Tachibana exits stage left. Now having our clothes, we make our way to the Kazuma family office to inform Nishiki that we aren't dead. As we approach, we look up and meet eyes with Kashiwagi, staring intently at us from inside. After losing the staring contest, Kashiwagi turns away and Nishiki jump scare. Nishiki shares how happy he is that we're okay, but we sadly inform him that we are officially out of the family. We then share how they're still gonna hold Kazuma accountable until we can find the real killer, or at least prove our own personal innocence. Motivated to save Kazuma and ourselves, we plan to pay Kuze a visit and get him to talk, one way or another. Nishiki tells us to come in and tell Kashiwagi, but we hold on to our accountability, denying ourselves entry due to being expelled. We agree to meet Nishiki at our apartment to update him fully and head over right after. Well, we tried to at least. On our way home, we run into Mr. Shakedown, a big motherfucker who will beat the shit out of you if you weren't careful. After beating Mr. Shakedown, he runs off to train more to try and compare to our god powers. Right after, we catch him slipping and drain his bank account. With him gone, we can freely head home, after getting some dinner. We ask for a smile before stopping the dilly-dallying and head to our apartment. We beat Nishiki to our place, making the score 2-0 in foot races. Presented with a vast amount of drinks, Nishiki grabs a simple beer and we begin the talk. We learn Kashiwagi was worried about us, even if he didn't say so directly. We fast forward as we retell our story so far. We inform Nishiki that if any of the Dojima lieutenants get their hand on the empty lot, Kazuma would be out of the family. We share we're on a time crunch, having to find the real killer to clear our name before the police get us in their sights. Dropping a bomb on us, Nishiki informs that the president of Toko Credit was found dead a few hours before. Nishiki and Kiryu theorize that it was Kuze trying to keep him quiet, since he was the one who told the president to set us up. Realizing that, since Kuze has his neck on the line, he'd be willing to do anything to succeed. That means plan A probably won't work. Changing the subject, we ask Nishiki if he had ever heard of Tachibana Real Estate. We tell him the story with Tachibana so far. It seems he knows them, surprised they're after the empty lot as well. Nishiki shares the little bit he knows about them. Tachibana Real Estate comes in, somehow clears the tenants out, and secures the building for themselves. They allegedly use shady tactics, including bribes, threats, and harassment, making Tachibana Real Estate no better than some lowly Yakuza. They're not scared of anyone in their way, even Tojo Clan Muscle. Even though he's weary, Kiryu understands how good of an asset Tachibana can be for him. We turn down Nishiki's offer to help, letting him know that, like Batista, we walk alone. Not without good reason though. We explain that, if we worked side by side, it'd get every eye in the city on us. We made our choice when we decided to get expelled from the family. We can't go back now. The next day, we wake up and decide to learn more about Tachibana before accepting his offer. We learn Tachibana is a real G and moves in silence like lasagna. No informant can seem to get a definitive dirt on him. Eavesdropping in on the conversation more, we get a hint to check out one of the buildings he's bought out and see if anyone there has any info. Listening into another conversation, we learn about Cafe Blend, a shop bought out by Tachibana Real Estate and moved behind Theater Square. As we make our way there, we stop to watch a badass woman collect a loan. Bacchus instant transmissions behind us, telling us her name is Miss Tatsu and to not fuck with her. Looking back, Tubby has a knife and is getting ready to fight back. Kiryu tries the white knight, but Bacchus holds us back. We watch in excitement and horror as Tubster is hit with a Mortal Kombat fatality, which turns him into a gory pace. That's rad! This leads us to learning Beast Style, another fighting style Kiryu can use. More Yakuza then show up and we show off what we just learned. Hitting one with a modified Tombstone Piledriver, we dispose of the rest with ease, ending the last with a clothesline from hell. Trying to act tough, they talk shit after getting rocked, before turning into piss babies running away when Miss Tatsu turns around. We learn Bacchus wants to use us to be a fighting champion, but we aren't interested. After we turn him down, Tatsu tells us that if we ever want training, we can head to the pier and that she'd help. With that, we get back on track and head to Cafe Blend. As we approach, we see a Cafe Blend worker in a verbal quarrel with a man talking about production money. We confirm that Tachibana Real Estate chased them out, and that they had the goal to ask for more money, even without them doing anything about Tachibana. We cut in, trying to talk to the cafe worker. We're mistaken for Yakuza at first, the actual Yakuza thinking we're trying to take his spot as the muscle. After whooping his ass, he runs away, letting us talk to the cafe blend worker in peace. We explain that we just want to know about Tachibana real estate and what he knows about them. He tells us how Tachibana somehow knows every single detail of his life. With proper questioning, we learn that they're still probably at his old location, finishing what they started. As we approach, we're greeted with a group of homeless people chilling outside the building. Ignoring them, we walk on into the last holdout bar, Namaste. We get stared down and ignored by another homeless man right outside the bar door. Before we can knock, the door opens. We let him know we want to ask a couple questions. He asks if we're with the Jinsei family, then tries to close the door on us when he senses we aren't. We pass a persuasion check and he lets us enter. Starting our questioning, we learn that the aforementioned Jinsei family is a low-ranking Tojo Clan subsidiary that runs a protection racket around here. Tachibana ran them out from collecting previously. The owner proceeds to explain how Tachibana had just waltzed in one day, saying he owned the place and that everyone needed to leave. Most of the others left immediately, but he had held out as the last one standing. He turns as his child cries, revealing he lives in the bar with his family, not being able to afford a home. The homeless people were hired by Tachibana Real Estate to harass the tenants until they left, even stooping to attempted arson. He even gets constant phone calls from blocked numbers. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. It's Tachibana Real Estate, and there's a lot of them. We tell him we got his back and he can let them in. We just want to talk to them. He opens the door and retreats steadily. A man named Oda enters, asking if the owner had considered his offer. Namaste's owner declines the offer, saying he isn't leaving. The thing is, Tachibana already owns the building. He has to get out soon regardless, for he legally can't stay anymore. Being mistaken for Yakuza once again, we explain we aren't and that we're just more of a bodyguard. Kiryu calls them out for acting like Yakuza, but Oda shrugs it off. Getting back to the point, Oda offers the man all the protection money he had paid to the Jinsei family for protection, rounding it to 2 million yen. Sweetening the deal, he throws in another 2 million yen from Tachibana himself. Before the owner can even respond, Oda offers another 2 million yen as milk money for his infant. The owner tells Oda to fuck off with that bullshit. Oda stands firm with the 6 million yen, resorting to throwing the money directly in the owner's face, it flying everywhere. As the angry man approaches the owner, we step in. We question Tachibana Real Estate's morals, degrading a child's dad right in front of them as they cry. Oda claps back by saying we're a pot calling the kettle black. Looking over our shoulder, he tells the owner that he expects a call this evening, before thanking him for his cooperation. Oda squad rolls out, but not before telling us that the tough guy shtick is gonna get us killed one day. With Oda gone, the owner shows his true self, quickly grabbing the money from the ground as it was all an act to get as much money as possible from Tachibana Real Estate. We look at him with disgust as he says he planned this all along and calls the ones who left immediately idiots. Exiting the building, we ask the last homeless man remaining where the rest went. He lets us know they already left to go do the next job, since Oda said this job was done. The homeless man warns about Tachibana Real Estate, saying they are the shadows of Kamurocho. Tachibana fucked over the Jinsei family so hard that the boss had to chop a finger off. An anonymous tip was shared that he had been stealing money from his proceeds before passing it up the ladder. Only enough to fuck him up a bit was shared, for giving the full context, he would have ended up dead. Ending the conversation, he warned us that we could end up the same way if we don't stay away. He then walks off. We head to where the group of homeless men are hanging out and try to approach them for information. They say they won't talk until we get them alcohol. We take their orders and collect the following: a cold beer, sweet potato shochu, gold champagne, Scotch whiskey, and sake. We return to the homeless men, giving each of them their specific drinks. Satisfied, they tell us what Tachibana hires them for and what they do. Apparently, the Tojo clan also hires them to do the same thing, making them essentially homeless for hire. Next, we learn that Tachibana Real Estate has been hanging around the Champion District, their possible next target region. Thanking them for the info, we leave and head to the Champion District. We slide down through the bars to a dead end. As we approach, we notice we've fallen into an ambush. They're only targeting us because they think we're Yakuza though. Maybe people will listen eventually. They don't believe our constant insistence on us not being Yakuza and make us beat them viciously. With them defeated, they finally hear us out. We possibly have it all wrong. Maybe Tachibana is actually here to help them. As he explains this, Oda makes an appearance. Again, he thinks we're Yakuza, but we explain we're only a former member, not a current member. Oda wants to know what we want with them, and we let him know that we were asked to partner by Tachibana himself. We give Oda our name, and he's shocked that he hadn't heard of this previously. He makes a call to Tachibana and gets his next course of action. He tells us that if we want to know more, we have to go to where we initially met Tachibana, and that Tachibana will meet us there himself. Before heading out, we ask Oda about them protecting the Champion District. He lets us know the morals they go by, and it raises our affinity slightly. Maybe they aren't so bad after all. Oda then asks us the big question: are we gonna go meet Tachibana or not? Kiryu, without hesitation, agrees to go meet him and vows to get answers. Avoiding a fight, we make it to the building we met Tachibana in before. Stepping off of the elevator, we're stopped by Tachibana's goons. Oda set us up and wants us to get our ass whooped. Too bad he fucked with the wrong civilian. Ridding the world of them, we move onwards and meet Oda in Tachibana's penthouse. He wants to test us to see if we're truly good enough to meet with Tachibana. He talks shit and we accept his challenge. We Zeroldo and finish him off in one hit. He lies defeated, laughing at his loss. Tachibana appears, asking if Oda is finally satisfied. Oda gives us the pass when we question why Tachibana let him do it. He explains that Oda is his right-hand man, and he wants his specific approval. Kiryu expresses discontentment about their actions, upset with how this played out. We tell him to cut the bullshit and ask for the reason he wants us. He asks us a deep question about our view of Kamurocho. Kiryu, not fully understanding the question, declines to answer. Tachibana reveals his plan to take control of Kamurocho away from the Tojo clan. He uses magical wizard powers to shut down all the lights in the city, and then further explains how he intends to see how far he can fight against the Tojo clan by himself. By securing the empty lot, he can stand with those who control the city. The Tojo clan is falling apart slowly, a member even helping Tachibana himself. This said member made the initial insistence that Tachibana approach Kiryu. It's revealed that the mole is actually Kazuma. Kazuma is the key to all of this. He knows the identity of someone who can locate the owner of the empty lot. That person is Tachibana. At the end of the day, Kazuma wants us to work together. Kazuma apparently had 500 IQ and knew everything that happened was going to happen even before he went to prison, and he predicted it all with ease. We learn he has far greater plans beyond even Tachibana's current understanding. We ask proof, and Tachibana responds bet and hands us a pocket watch. Kazuma's special pocket watch, given to him by Yumi-san. It contains an image of young Kiryu and Nishiki with Kazuma in the middle. Our job has been given. Make sure Kazuma gets the pocket watch from us directly. We pocket the locket, becoming allies with Tachibana as the screen fades to black. And that'll be it for chapter 2. I hope you all have a great day, know you're beautiful, and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave it a like anyway. Leave a comment, and I'll love you forever. Stay happy, healthy, and hydrated, and I'll see you all again soon. See ya. Why did I do that?